got red square.
Sweet. 1 through 9.
1.
Hey, we make it legal. Man, I wish I could make the whole thing. The ability to speak does not make you intelligent. My name is So Wizard. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Murphy Street Podcast. I am Murphy, your host. Joining me tonight is CeeLo. CeeLo, tell everybody what's up.
Hey, what's up?
As always, when you come to Murphy Street, rules are simple. Shoes and slippers at the door, come inside, and let's talk story. First of all, I absolutely despise Walmart for what is going on. And the reason that is because Bronson and I, we really rushed to pre-order these Black Series figures. The same figure that you were talking about, the Supreme Commando, they call them, I believe. There's also a Mandalorian figure. It looks kind of like Jango Fett, but with like less impressive. So the Tano Trooper.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for that.
For Funko. Yeah, and Ahsoka Tano herself. Now those things came out on a super quick release, and it sold out once, came back on maybe like an hour later, sold out again, came back on like an hour later, and sold out again finally. Yeah, well, of course, we're here in Hawaii, and every pre-order starts mainland time at about 4 a.m. our time. Long story short, they've pushed back the deliveries from what was supposed to be, I believe it was like October. They pushed it now back 4 times to December, I want to say.
I'm wondering if they put more out for sale that they just hadn't produced yet.
Well, here's the thing. The reason why I'm so upset, and I get it, like if you have to push back my date, that's no problem. That's not a problem at all. Where I have a problem is they are now releasing these figures in store. And when we first started seeing them kind of leak out on the pages, maybe these were like accidental shipments. So okay, fine. But when I seen them like hit Hawaii Walmarts, because we never get anything. We always get everything last. So when I saw them hit here, I was like, are you kidding me? And so I am not happy with Walmart right now because of the way that they're conducting their business.
Walmart doesn't price match online?
They used to. So Target does, yes.
Yeah, because they were.
And that's the handy thing about having the Target app, right? Is you can do it right then and there and then go to the register. Walmart no longer does that. So yeah, Walmart is not. That's why I'm a much bigger Target advocate. All right, so we wanted to talk really quickly about some things that have happened. I know that on Saturday, From the Heart Hawaii had their QuaranCon, QuaranCon. Anyway, yes, but they had a con of sorts, in which they always get a huge crowd on a Saturday night as well. I can tell you that they had a bunch of cool figures, and so I'm part of a pop culture group as well on Facebook, and so some of those people have been there, went to the QuaranCon. And what I do want to shout out and what I want to talk about is that piece that we saw.
Yeah.
The ones that Ken had at From the Heart Hawaii were a 300 production run. He said they sold out of most of them. They do have still some available. I'm not sure what the price of that is. There was a Tech 63 exclusive release. It was their Tropical Heat, I believe they call it, and it was what, like multicolored?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
It was, yeah. In fact, even if you check their Instagram page at From the Heart Hawaii, they show like a bunch of the different lineups of the Tech 63 ones, which I didn't see this in store when we were there, but they had a Nintendo, original Nintendo controller. Mm-hmm. Like it was on the figure's chest.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I hate it because like once they start coming out with those cool ones,
yeah,
all of a sudden it becomes another avenue to go hunt.
Yeah, like we need that, right? Another thing that I want to talk about that I came across in the groups was this thing called dumpster fires. Yeah, it's a figure, but guess what it is?
I have no idea.
It's a dumpster with a fire in it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called dumpster fire. I don't know what to tell you. I wanted to bring it up. If you've ever been in a dumpster fire year, this is it. So yeah, so those cool things were able to be found at From the Heart Hawaii. Again, they have some cool stuff that they always drop. So guys, let's talk about every Thursday night, 10 p.m. now.
10 p.m. now.
10 p.m. now, The Mandalorian drops a new episode. And so every night after that, after the episode is done, ordinarily at about 11 o'clock Hawaii time, I always do a reaction show. Now that we've had the time to digest it, let's get a recap. Episode 2 of The Mandalorian Season 2 was called The Passenger, The Child, and The Mandalorian. So we pick up this frog lady passenger and is carrying a load of eggs.
And it's her last batch of eggs that she can produce.
Perfect. Okay, yes, thank you. We do not understand how important these eggs are, but from the moment the child sees it, he's immediately interested. They get pulled over by some X-Wings. Eventually, the Mandalorian tries to make an escape. They get stuck on an ice planet. They come across these crazy spiders, Krykna spiders. Throughout the episode, the child eats a couple eggs. Eventually, they are able to repair the Razor Crest enough, limp its way across the galaxy to the planet Trask. Let's get your recap. What do you think?
I didn't know what to think after I watched it. This is a plot episode,
Yeah.
I guess, right?
It kind of threw me in the episode as well, because I thought maybe there was a more benevolent reason that the child was eating these eggs, and then you see that he just eats the spider eggs. So I'm just like, oh, maybe he just likes eggs.
Where he just kind of goes around and eats.
Yeah, so I'm
Whatever.
just like, oh, what is he? Like, what if he came across bullet?
Yeah, we probably would.
Probably down it, right?
So that was my initial reaction.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I get a little bit. You know, they had like the heist episode. So you do have these offshoot things that kind of just teach you a story. But then I thought about it and I'm like, alright, this episode really can't just be about Baby Yoda being, this poor lady is like doing what she can to transport her eggs, and he just like...
And he's just a jerk, yeah, just like, nope.
But there's one part, he presses his face on the container, but you see these eggs kind of just gravitate towards him. And then
So I will say this, I did not notice it until Bronson actually mentioned it. And then after that, when I went through different threads, I did see other people referencing that. But yes, so I do now see that.
So there's something important with these eggs.
Definitely does feel like it's loaded with something a little extra. This entire episode left you feeling like, wait, what?
This has to connect something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sure I'm going to get this in 3 episodes from now. It seems to be that a lot of fans are upset. They're split, I should say. They're split. Some are just like, oh my god, he ate those things, it was so cool, it's so funny. And other people are like, oh my god, you know, the child represents purity.
See, I don't see that. I see him as a kid. Right? Like, he's not necessarily pure. You don't know his background.
People were crying.
I mean, you have him, like, strangling Cara Dune.
Yeah.
He thinks Mandalorian. And
Which was pretty dope.
You don't see any light side, or you don't see any mainstream light side characters.
That is funny. I did miss that. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was funny because he just looks like, how many did you eat?
Yeah, he's like...
Like, it was kind of funny. It was kind of well done the way they did it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was very like new age sarcastic.
Yeah,
is what it was. Yeah.
It's almost like it wasn't the Taika episode, but it seems like almost that Taika Waititi kind of humor.
Right. Yeah. I know you had a theory. Share with us what you think your theory is.
So my theory is, I have a feeling Baby Yoda, or the child, he's actually just kind of storing him in his body for the time being. I have a feeling we're gonna see at some point, maybe on Trask, when like they're almost there or they're getting there, and it's gonna be too late and the eggs are perished.
Spoiler alert.
But I think he's gonna come out and just be like, bleh, and have these eggs that have stayed warm because they were inside of him.
I will say this: I love your theory. I love the way that you tie it around for it to be a positive spin. I can tell you what, considering I want to say backlash, they definitely need a positive spin out of this one because you don't want to tarnish the child.
If there's nothing more to it,
yeah.
I mean, they're showing you this kid he's raw.
Right. No.
He's kind of living off instinct at this point and he's hungry.
Yeah, yes. And so down the hatch it goes. All right, so we've since heard that there will be a Boba Fett spinoff. Is that real?
They've been wanting to. That's been a rumor since before the Mandalorian.
Right, and
I think what they're doing is, and I have a feeling they're going to do it with Ahsoka and some of the other characters in here, is we're not going to see as much of them as we'd like. I don't think they're going to show the Ahsoka with the Mandalorian the entire episode, because essentially you got to go back to Cara Dune and those characters. So they're going to run into them, maybe an episode or 2, and then they're going to peel off. That's my thought.
So for those of you guys who love to just agitate, the Star Wars fans who are upset about the child eating the eggs, Funko has addressed that by making the child with the canister of eggs as a Funko.
Obviously, they knew that was going to be a point of contention or hilarity, depending on who's watching it.
You mean for them to already have it already produced?
Already produced and ready for Mando Monday.
Which to me is the most hilarious thing, because how long did it take last year before we even got any child merch? They literally had nothing the entire season.
Yeah. And you know what? Honestly, they may have just thought of it as a big reveal, but maybe the marketing person just never thought it was going to be like
that huge.
Yeah. Like, I think there's a lot of people who are like pseudo Star Wars fans, like they've seen the movie, but they're not a huge fan, that are super into the Mandalorian now.
Yeah, no, I get it. I thought it was so odd that they are now ahead of the game, that they're actually producing stuff from the shows
ahead of time.
Yeah.
Did you see on Mando Monday drop a $600 gold and diamond necklace?
Necklace?
Yeah, it's a 10 carat Baby Yoda pendant on a 10 carat gold chain.
They're actually
with
selling
about
that.
6 to 8 like small diamonds on it.
They're selling that.
$600.
Bobby Herbeck, who was one of the original writers of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. So when I was a kid, I wanted nothing more than to see that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie when it first came out. Bobby Herbeck, he's talking about maybe like a fresh makeover using the Jim Henson creature shop that they have available to him now. What do you think about that?
Because I wasn't a big fan of the new Teenage Mutant
mean
Ninja Turtles.
When they're mostly CG.
They also call it a different storyline, the comic book.
Right, yes,
Ninja
exactly.
Turtles, versus the 90s Turtles. And I have to say, when I was little and those movies came out, I was more of a Ninja Turtles fan back then than I was a Star Wars fan. But yeah, so I would love it. Secret of the Ooze, I have to say, number 3 was my favorite.
I will say for me personally, 1, 2, and 3.
It's very interesting to see which one people gravitate to.
What character would you want to see redone?
Krang. And bring Krang and his like weird, I forget his name, the weird walker.
Right, the big guy.
Because in the cartoons, it was him, Bebop, and Rocksteady.
Yes, and even though for me, the person that I'm going to say was done well, I still would like to see him redone. Casey Jones.
Yeah.
Feel free to cast Ryan Reynolds to do Casey Jones if you'd like.
Would you like to see it the new April O'Neil? If I remember correctly, they changed her in every single movie.
Is it too much to ask for Scarlett Johansson? Scarlett Johansson in a yellow jumpsuit?
Yeah.
Sound like a bad. What about you?
And Emma Stone.
No, it's not totally weird. What character that wasn't done in the movie would you like to see done if they do redo it?
I like Toka and Razor though.
For me, what character would I like to see? I'd like to see them figure out a way to work in Usagi Yojimbo. I'm probably going to go and try and find him on the internet and get an original carded Usagi Yojimbo.
Can you imagine the collectors if they managed to come out with that? Like what toys we'd probably see?
Yeah, totally. Well, because they also have, what's that, Genghis Frog or whatever his name was in the first lineup. Remember that? Yeah. Which is cool. It's a frog in an aloha shirt and some jams. But okay, well, you know what, you guys? So we've worked our way around our topics to what's on my table. So for tonight, I kind of wanted to throw it back a little bit. You know, especially with all this Mandalorian talk, a lot of people may not have seen this piece. What I have on my table is a carded Jango and Boba Fett.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. The figure itself, it's very, very detailed.
Yeah, so that is what is on our table for tonight. So once again, guys, you can catch us on Spreaker, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. You can also catch our YouTube, which is called the Murphy Street Productions. CeeLo, would you like to tell them where they can catch you at?
CT96707.
You can catch me at Murphy Street 808. That is MurphyStreet 808. Do know that we will have a Thanksgiving show. We will be giving away stuff again on Thanksgiving. So other than that, you guys, everybody take care. Don't forget your slippers. Aloha.
Aloha.